It's not the size that matters, and with countries, that is often the case. Some of the least populated countries in the world are also the wealthiest in terms of personal wealth and gross national product. And some of the larger nations have problems equally as huge to address. Some of these smaller countries are thinly populated because they are super difficult to get to or sit in some of the world's harshest regions. Some simply get by on one or two key industries and foreign aid. Some were used as strategic bases during wartime, some are playgrounds for the rich and famous, and one is reserved for holy activities. Today we take a closer look at the smallest of these nations in this episode of the Infographics Show, the 10 least populated countries in the world. Human populations usually huddle around places that are good for agriculture with a source of water nearby. Most great cities were built beside rivers and have economies or resources that attract a growing number of visitors. When we think of most countries, we imagine large masses of land and intricate infrastructure of roads, railway, networks, crowds of people, and towering buildings. But spare a moment today to take a look at some of the smaller nations. Countries with the smallest populations are also often the most isolated in the world. Many of them are islands that are expensive and inconvenient to reach. Also, harsh weather conditions can cause a place to be remote. When we discuss a country's population, we normally talk in terms of millions rather than a few thousand. For the purposes of this show, we are working on straightforward population, i.e. the number of people living in said country, rather than population density, i.e. people over a given area. So here we have, in reverse order, from largest to smallest, the countries with the smallest populations. Number 10, Dominica, population 74,344. The island was originally settled by the Kalinago and later colonized by Europeans, predominantly the French, from the 1690s to 1763. Christopher Columbus was said to have passed the island on a Sunday in November 1493 and named it. The name is said to derive from the Latin for Sunday. The Brits took a hold of the island in 1763 and the island gained independence in 1978. Dominica is known for its outstanding beauty with natural hot springs, lush rainforests, mountains, and rare flora and fauna. The Cicero parrot, also known as the imperial Amazon parrot, can only be found in Dominica and is featured on their national flag. Dominica is a popular tourist destination, and much of its economy derives from the tourist industry. Number 9, St. Kitts and Nevis, population 55,855. Also known as the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis, this island country sits in the West Indies and is the smallest sovereign state in the Western Hemisphere in both area and population. The first people settled on the island 3,000 years ago, and peak native populations were thought to have been around 500 and 600 AD. In 1623, the English settled on the islands, soon followed by the French. Both the French and the English later agreed to partition the island. In 1626, the Anglo-French settlers joined forces and massacred the native Kalinago people. Fast forward to the 17th century, and the French and English fought for control of the island, resulting in the French ceding their territory in 1713. In 1967, St. Kitts and Nevis became an associated state and became fully independent in 1983. The economy is mainly comprised of tourism, agriculture, and light manufacturing industries. Number 8, Marshall Islands, population 53,170. The Marshall Islands covers a total land space of less than 175 miles and is an island country near the equator in the Pacific Ocean. Micronesian colonists reached the islands in canoes around 2000 BC, and the islands were first explored by Europeans in the 1520s. The Spanish claimed the islands in 1592 and later sold the islands to Germany in 1885. During World War II, the USA took control of the islands and used them for nuclear testing from 1946 to 1958. The Trust Territory of the Pacific Islands in 1979 handed independence to the Marshall Islands. With not much in the way of natural resources, the island's economy is based on service industries along with some agriculture and fishing. Aid from the USA provides a large part of the island's GDP, and their currency is the US dollar. Number 7, Monaco, population 38,911. Located on the French Riviera, Monaco is a sovereign city-state country with a land area of just 0.8 square miles. Monaco has one of the smallest populations in the world, but is also, bizarrely, one of the most densely populated sovereign states. Monaco has a reputation as a playground for the rich and famous, owing to its favorable tax laws for the well-heeled playboy. In 2014, 30% of the population was comprised of millionaires, making it one of the richest and least populated countries in the world. Number 6, Liechtenstein, population 38,171. Another super rich microstate, Liechtenstein is bordered by Switzerland to the west and south and Austria to the east and north. It covers an area of just over 61 square miles and is the fourth smallest country in Europe. Like Monaco, Liechtenstein has one of the highest GDP per person rates in the world, as well as one of the lowest unemployment rates. This mountainous alpine country features as a luxury winter sports destination. Before World War I, the country was closely tied at first to the Austrian Empire and then later to Austria-Hungary. The economic devastation caused by the war led the country to join a customs and monetary union with Switzerland. The Prince of Liechtenstein is one of the world's wealthiest monarchs with a net worth estimated to be in the region of $3.5 billion. Number 5. San Marino, population 33,568. San Marino is small in size as well as population, with a landmass of 38 miles. A series of 6 books written in Latin in the 16th century act as the country's constitution, and it is thought to have the earliest governing constitution still in effect. The economy here is comprised of tourism and financial services and is one of the wealthiest countries in the world in terms of GDP per capita. San Marino has no national debt and a budget surplus along with low unemployment figures. San Marino is the only country in the world to have more motor vehicles than people. They also have one of the smallest armies in the world. The Guard of the Rock patrol and defend San Marino's borders in their distinctive green and red uniforms. Number 4. Palau, population 21,980. Located in the western Pacific Ocean, this country is made up of somewhere in the region of 340 islands and has an area of 180 miles. Migrants from the Philippines settled on Palau 3,000 years ago. The islands were discovered by Europeans in the 16th century and were annexed into the Spanish East Indies in 1574. Following the Spanish-American War, the islands were sold to Germany in 1899 under terms set out by the German-Spanish Treaty. The League of Nations passed on the islands to the Japanese after the First World War, and it was here that the major battle of PALAU was fought between the Japanese and the Americans. The islands gained full independence in 1994. The country's economy relies on tourism, fishing, farming, and foreign aid. Number 3. Nauru, population 11,309. The Republic of Nauru, formerly called Pleasant Island, is an island country in Oceania right in the center of the Central Pacific. Nauru is the third smallest state by population and the third smallest state by area in the world. The first settlers here were from Micronesia and Polynesia around 1000 BC. Snatched from the Germans in the late 19th century after the First World War, the island was administered by Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom. Nauru became fully independent in 1968. During the late 1960s and early 1970s, Nauru had the highest per capita income rate of any sovereign state in the world, owing to a rich supply of phosphate. When this reserve was exhausted and the environment damaged by mining, the island transformed into a tax haven destination and has been linked with illegal money laundering. Number 2. Tuvalu, population 11,294. Formerly known as the Ellis Islands, Tuvalu, having gained independence from the United Kingdom in 1978, is the second smallest country in the world in terms of population size. Tuvalu is located to the east of Australia in the Pacific Ocean, about midway between Hawaii and Australia, and close to Nauru as well as Fiji. The first European to sail through the islands was the Spanish navigator Alvaro de Mendana. The islands came under Britain's influence in the late 19th century. A referendum in 1974 determined that the Ellis Islands should have their own administration, and Tuvalu became fully independent on October 1st, 1978. The Tuvalu traditional social system still survives. Each family member has its own task inside the community, such as fishing or house building. A traditional meeting is held regularly where important matters are discussed, and song and dance are still important parts of their culture. And finally, number 1, Vatican City, population 801. With a population of under 1,000 people, the Vatican has, by far, the smallest population of any country, and it is also the smallest country in terms of land area. The whole city and country is less than half a square mile in size and boasts a population of 800 people plus the Pope. This independent state sits within the city of Rome and is an ecclesiastical state ruled by the Pope. Within the city are some of the most cultural, religious, and artistic sites in the world. The Sistine Chapel, St. Peter's Basilica, and the Vatican Museums can all be found here. The economy of Vatican City is supported by the sale of postage stamps, publications, and various Catholic memorabilia on sale to the public who visit here. So, there's our top 10. Besides countries such as San Marino, Liechtenstein, and Monaco, statistics indicate most folks would rather visit these remote locations for a holiday rather than live there full-time, so there is not much expectation of the smallest populations growing much in the near future. Unfortunately, we didn't include colonies in the list, but if we had, Pitcairn Islands, with a population of 57, would have been the smallest in the world. Cocos Islands have 630 people, Tokelau has 1,320 people, and the Christmas and Norfolk Islands are not far behind with about 2,600 and 2,000 people respectively. So, where's the most remote country or town you've ever traveled to? Is it in our list? If not, tell us more about it in the comments. Also, be sure to watch our other video called 50 Insane World War II Facts that will shock you. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time!